everyone, welcome to Lizzie's Little Library and the Newbery Project. Today's book is the 2003 winner called Crispin, The Cross of Lead by Avi. This was Avi's 50th published book, and I wonder if this was a lifetime achievement. This is very similar to my opinion of Beverly Cleary winning for Dear Mr. Henshaw, which was, in my opinion, definitely not her best book. I have previously read Avi's book called School of the Dead. I very much liked it, and I have read parts of Poppy many times with my students. I never loved that book, so I was always thankful when the curriculum was only to read Poppy and not all of these sequels. The author is 84 years old as of the taping of this and currently still alive. Our story begins with a boy who doesn't have a name. He has always been referred to as Asta's boy. I'm assuming that's how it's pronounced. It could be Asta. It's A-S-T-A, Asta. Not sure. I'm going to call her Asta. So Asta, the mom, has recently died, and the boy is ordered by John Aycliffe to turn in his ox as a death tax. Aycliffe seems to be the day-to-day manager. I'm guessing he'll be pretty important to the story. Asta's husband died from the plague while she was pregnant. Asta and the boy live on an English manor in the Middle Ages, so this is our second consecutive Middle Ages story, after we had had 3 of 4 set in the Depression. One night, the boy sees Aycliffe and a stranger in the woods with a sheet of paper. When they see the boy, they both swing their swords to kill him, but miss. In the morning, his hut is destroyed, then burned, and he runs away. He learns he has been accused of breaking into the manor house and stealing money, and the whole town is searching for him. Late at night, the boy sees the priest, who says he was baptized and given the name Crispin. Also, he learns his mother could read and write. Crispin is shocked by all of this information. The priest advises him to hide for another day while he makes preparations, then he'll provide information about Crispin's father before he runs away. The priest, however, is killed before Crispin can meet him. Eventually, Crispin meets up with a man who he describes as a mountain of a man. He is a traveling juggler and claims Crispin as his servant. Otherwise, he'll return him to the manor. The man's name is Orson, but he's generally called Bear due to his size, and they travel on for a while. Bear teaches Crispin to play the recorder for his act. He reads the inscription on the cross, but won't tell Crispin what it says, and admits he is part of a brotherhood seeking change. Bear teaches Crispin more of the performance skills, as well as life skills, such as mending clothing and setting a snare for animals. He suggests that Crispin change from being his servant to his apprentice. In one of the towns, Crispin learns he has been accused of killing the priest at his home village, and many bounty hunters are still looking for him. They learned that Lord Furnival, who owned Crispin's village, has died and has no heir. And let me guess, Crispin is his illegitimate son, and that's why Mom was shunned by the villagers. Let's see. Bear tells Crispin to stay hidden while he has a meeting, so of course Crispin sneaks out to explore the village and spend the penny that he earned, and of course he runs into Aycliffe, who recognizes him. At the end, Bear says he regards Crispin as a son, and they escape together to seek freedom. The end. And obviously there's a lot more detail there, but I don't want to ruin it. So let's start with the good. While this book was 262 pages, it was double-spaced with a larger font, and most of the chapters were about 3 to 5 pages, so just the approachability of the text will appeal to some of our young readers. If you like overwritten descriptions of architecture, this is a good choice. If you like original stories, however, keep looking. I did like the mystery of Crispin wanting to know about his father, but I found that to be very, very predictable. And otherwise, the story was pretty much a dud. There have been other winners set in this time period. This was about on par with Adam of the Road, but not nearly as good as The Trumpeter of Krakow. For the first several chapters, I didn't know what was going on, so I could see kids being completely turned off by that. There was a side plot about citizens' rights, very important topic. However, it could have been eliminated, especially since this is geared towards kids and the idea of changing, evolving government. I'm not sure fourth graders really jump for that topic. There's also a character named John Ball. I think he was a good guy, but he seemed pretty non-essential to the story, so he could have been cut out altogether. I didn't find Crispin a particularly good character, and he didn't show any real growth or development throughout the story. So due to all those complaints, I can't recommend this book. There are 2 sequels, and thank goodness for the very brief summaries on Goodreads, because I'm not going to read them. There were 5 honor books this year, and Avi somehow has 2 honors of his own, and I definitely hope those are better, although one is a historic sailing book, which is definitely not my cup of tea. And again, aside from his School of the Dead, which was published in 2016, I haven't really enjoyed a single book by this author. I always thought he was British, and honestly, too bad he's not, because then he would be ineligible for the Newbery Prize. The next winner is Despero, a story about a mouse. We haven't had an animal story win in a long, long time, so I'll get to that one for you next week. This was called Crispin, the Cross of Lead. Don't waste your time on this one. Sorry if it's your favorite. Thanks for watching. Bye.